of 70-degree weather, you know, mid-70s, even to the high 70s. And then a storm came in last night, and so now it's too cold to sit outside and film. But I don't have a whole lot to show you of what I've gotten done, but I did get these precious hats done. These are some baby hats. I love using my scraps up with these baby hats. Can you see them? I can't figure out, I don't have 3 hands, so I'm not sure how to show you all 3 at the same time. Ta-da! But aren't they cute? I just love making these. And the funny thing is I think y'all like them too, because I get lots of comments anytime I show these basic little hats that I have done in the past. So what I did was printed up my recipe. It is not exactly a pattern, but it's what I use for charity hats. I'm not trying to fit anybody in particular, you know, exactly, so I have the approximate measurements that I get off of charts, and I go from there. So what I'm going to do when I finish filming this is film a separate video that kind of explains my written instructions, what I'm actually trying to achieve, and how I use the recipe. Sound like I'm from the Waltons, don't I? Miss Mamie, making a recipe? I need somebody to explain this to me. Here I've got a 2x2 rib and I've got a 1x1 rib. It's the same number of knits, it's the same number of purls on each one. However, look, if I put this right smack on the end like that, you see it measures to about right here. But look at this one. Right smack on the end, and look how it's even farther. Why is that? Why does the 2x2 pull in? Well, here, let me put them on the side. Why does the 2x2 pull in more than the 1x1? I measured them around. And they come out to just under, I don't want to do it too tightly, just under 10 inches here. That noise in the background is our painter preparing the wall. And just over 10 inches here. So I still can't figure out, there is a slight difference, but why if they're the same amount of knits and purls? Somebody explain that to me. I really hope this lighting is okay in here so you can see, but here's another one. It's made with variegated yarn, and I know people are kind of one way or the other. I know Terry hates variegation, don't you, Terry? But some people like it a lot, and I happen to love these colors together. I want to use this yarn as inspiration for a striped combo or something like that, because I just love the colors in it. This is a Karen Simply Soft. Don't remember the name of it, but I'll put I'll put it somewhere on this video so that you can see the colorway. But it reminds me of water, and for all I know, it has a watery type of name, but isn't it pretty? I like these colors together. Oh dear, I picked up Bentley's toys, and he got into my yarn. And apparently he does not feel any regret. And why are there beach chairs in my living room? Because the cats and I like to sit in front of the fire when it's cold. But alas, it is not cold today. Now here's another thing that I've been working on. You know, I'm kind of obsessed with finding the right brim to put on an Addy Express hat. And so this particular suggestion came from Barb515. She gave me a link to a video by Moogly.com, which are wonderful videos, by the way. If you crochet, you need to know about her. But anyhow, I had used a technique similar to this on a dog sweater. But I liked the Moogly video Barb shared a lot better, so I did it here. Now here's what happens. You put your yarn on here, create this much of the hat, which I think was about 35 rows. Then without cutting the yarn, add some waste yarn. Now, if you need help crocheting, learning how to add a crocheted border, I have a video on that already. However, you then need to go to the Moogly video to figure out what to do after that, because it does call for a single crochet foundation before you begin putting on these ribs.
In her message, Barb asked if I thought that single crochet row would be necessary.
I would think it would leave gaps, Barb, if we didn't put that single crochet foundation. And it does fit an adult. It's nice and stretchy, so that's good to know. Well, at least it fits my 22-inch head, if that makes a difference for anybody. I'll put a link in the description box both to my video for how to pick up these stitches with the crochet hook, and then to the Moogly video to do this ribbed addition that turned out pretty well, I thought. Now I did another attempt where I crocheted the border first, which is what I have done before. Only this time I tried to put this on the machine and continue on making the rest of the hat. And it didn't work. And I don't know if I did something incorrectly or whatever, but it left these great big holes. And I didn't like that at all. It also was not big enough, so I ended up having to, well, let me hush up. I took pictures, I'll show you. So here's what we've got when we just crochet 46 of these. It's not going to reach.
Purposefully using another color, I added some more rows to it and then kind of fudged as I put it on the machine. But you still have these big giant gaps that show everywhere. I just wasn't pleased with that. And putting it on the machine was really tough. You had to stretch a lot. So then I tried it by putting 2 single crochet at the top of each column. When I put it on the machine, I would put every other stitch, so I still had 46 stitches. Even though it fit better on the machine, it still came out with this big gappy gapness. So it looks like somebody else is going to have to figure out the crochet, put on machine, finish hat method, because I failed miserably.
Now, I mentioned last week that my friend Judy, who is fighting cancer right now, I gave her a hat, my Phoenix hat that I had done before, and I used the Lion Brand wool-like yarn that it's fingering weight, and it just feels so good. Erin, Gimme Yarn 418, introduced me to that because the price was phenomenal, especially if you can get it on sale for the amount of yardage that you get. And it washes up beautifully. It's really soft and light. And Judy's I gave her 2 hats, but she's very fond of that one because of its lightness. She can wear it in the house and not get hot and that sort of thing. So I thought to myself, you know, that was fun. I'll make her another one, and I have different colors of that wool-like, so I'll just do that. So I had this idea in my head that I was going to make this cabled deal, and it was too fiddly and too tedious, and so I ripped it all out, so I don't have that to show. But I will be making her a hat out of that so she can have a different color. Now, I've said before how much I dislike Facebook. I don't like its interface and all that, and I do keep that separate from my yarn life, so to speak. That's my friends and family and people that I have, you know, personal relationships with. So, and I have mentioned that before, so don't get your feelings hurt if I don't friend you on Facebook for that reason. Everything else is listed below if you want to contact me on any of the other social medias that I am a part of, so please don't get your feelings hurt. But I was on there the other day and found a different Addie machine group than the one that I normally visit, which is Addie King Loomers and Knits. Well, I can't remember the exact name of the other group right now. But on there I found someone who was not exactly claiming my patterns as her own, but alluding to that fact.
So there was this picture of all the little snowmen scarves and plenty of chatter going, oh, those are so cute. How do you make them? Yada, yada, yada. So after many posts about yarn used and yada, 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 this person says, I finally received my yarn for this project. I saw where you posted pattern for a hat, but do not see the pattern for a scarf. If you sell patterns online, please point me to that site. Thank you. Does she give her my site? No, she says, I just did 12 rounds blue, 14 rounds white. That's my exact pattern, but no mention of where she got it. So the reply was, you should start a business. Thank you for sharing. I'm giving to family for Christmas. And this person replies, very welcome. No, I don't sell anything. I give away what I make and share my knowledge when needed. Many have done the same for me through the years. I think so. Now, she claimed this hat was her own pattern, but I've seen many like it. But there's my little Santas with it.
I really don't care if you make something with my patterns and you post it on there. You don't have to say, this was by Margaret Olander. You know, that's not a big deal. But it does kind of get away with me if someone sort of alludes to the fact that they have done this on their own. So don't do that. We're going to hurt people's feelings plenty on accident, so we certainly don't want to do it on purpose. You know what I mean? It's called the human condition. It's what we do. And then another thing that's very prevalent on Facebook is that tasty. They show you recipes done sort of really fast. You know, they'll say 1 tablespoon of salt, and it just shows someone pouring it in. And in the matter of about, a minute and 30 seconds, they've shown you how to make a really good recipe, or what appears to be a really good recipe. Well, I hate to cook, but I'm always looking for something different because we need to cook. We can't eat out all the time, can we? So I found this one recipe. I'll link it below. And the reason I'm going to link it is because it's so hard to find anything on Facebook. It's not like a blog or a website or even YouTube with things in playlists. So I had to track it down, and I found it. But here's my experience with that. Look, I'm trying one of those recipes from Facebook. It's chicken, ginger, soy, Asian something or other. It has potatoes and carrots in there. And it says in the last 30 minutes that we are to add these green beans. Well, I'm from the South, and you cook green beans a lot longer than 30 minutes. We don't like crisp, tender green beans. We like green beans to be very tender. So I'll keep you posted on how this is going to turn out. I don't know, but it looks good. I mean, I don't know. You just get out what you want. And if you want some of that gravy, you can have that gravy. Do you want a holy spoon?
I want some of that juice. I'm going to eat mine in a bowl.
In a bowl? So what's your review?
Very good. Very tender food.
That's not what you said. You said what?
Outstanding.
Okay. So we're going to have that again. It is good. Yeah, it is good. Something that we have found since the kids are not in the house anymore is that we don't sit down at the dinner and set the table and all that commotion. Well, actually, I didn't set the table a whole lot then. Everybody would just get what they needed and go sit at the table. But I don't know. I grew up in a situation where you had to always have your shoes on when you came to the table, and you had to freshen up before you came to the table, and the table was set. And so I really let things slide as with my own family. But Tucker and I get all excited when we have a good dinner. We go sit in front of the TV and have dinner and watch our shows, which is probably not a good, well, I don't know why it would be a bad habit. It's just us home. I don't know. Do y'all do that? Is that weird? I don't know. Is that weird?
Have you seen these new needles by Lion Brand? They're supposed to make knitting in the round easier. They're just bent double points. They come in all these different sizes, and I probably won't be trying them now that I have Magic Loop down, but I thought somebody else might be interested. I need some help from anybody who knows something about latch hooking. I got this question from CCY on Ravelry. She has a friend's deceased relative's latch hook project that needs finishing, and her friend wanted her to finish it. But this is the only method of latch hooking style that she knows how to do. But this is the method that was used when the project was handed to her, and it's a very unusual style of hooking the yarn. So if anybody knows what this is called so we can look it up and figure out how to do it, can you let us know?
You know, I always love interacting with you in the comments below, so if you have any suggestions or observations or whatever, do share. And don't forget that I asked you 2 questions that I'm in the dark about this week. So do you have any answers about that 1x1 versus 2x2 ribbing mystery? Or do you know anything about latch hooking so you can help me and CCY answer this question? So that's all I've got this week. Talk to you soon. Bye.